Amy, you are right. It is quiet and empty in the hall, and that is all because of Isaac coming up into the Gulf Coast. And clearly it's had an impact here, but it will have an even greater impact, obviously, when it makes landfall on the communities where it is headed. And that is where we go right now, to ABC meteorologist Ginger Zee, who is in New Orleans. Ginger, can you please bring us up to speed on the very latest of the storm?
Sure. It still is a tropical storm, 4 miles per hour short of a hurricane at last check. It will make hurricane status tonight, and eventually, by the time it reaches the Gulf Coast here, it is forecast to become a Category 2 hurricane, winds of 100 miles per hour plus. So we're talking a lot of storm surge, a lot of rain. That's going to end up being one of the biggest headlines after this storm hits. And of course, just overall wind damage. I want to start you out with where I am. We're right in New Orleans. You can see Lake Pontchartrain behind me. A lot of things happening here. We're starting to see it here over the loudspeakers. People saying that the flood areas are now completely closed. They want people out of here. They want people away, which not everyone has done that, from these vulnerable areas. When Katrina happened, let me show you something. The storm surge got so big that it actually pushed the waters of Lake Pontchartrain up and over levees. Now I'm standing on an earthen levee, one of many types that has since been a little higher, but when Katrina happened, it was lower, and the water pushed up and over into neighborhoods just like that. That was all part of that big disaster. So will that happen again? That was a question that I had, and we spoke with one of the colonels from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and he said absolutely not. This is a completely different storm, and New Orleans, he said, is a completely different city. Their levee system has changed. 133 miles now has been changed of levees around this city, and they are so ready and confident that their control systems are going to work. So again, Lake Pontchartrain, you can also see the surf kind of kicking up, the winds picking up here as well. Right after we leave from here, Sam Champion's going to take over the coverage in New Orleans, and we are going to go east to Gulfport, Mississippi. That's something a lot of folks have been worried about. Don't forget about Mississippi or Alabama, the panhandle of Florida. Absolutely, we can't. That's a lot of times in that right quadrant of the storm. Say the storm hits directly to New Orleans, that front right quadrant is where some of the biggest storm surge will come out, and we will be there to intercept it. Let's head back into you.
Ginger Zee, the Extreme Weather Team, ABC meteorologist, thank you so much for that report.